Hello folks, Trouble T Cat here. I'm playing some Elite Dangerous today. Today, Horizons came out. At least it's still the day Horizons came out on here in Australia. The day may have ticked over. Anyway, Horizons came out today. And, I went and bought myself an ASP, replacing my DBX, because the DBX is not a good choice for exploration if you want to be able to land places. Went and bought myself an ASP, got that all outfitted, and set off on a voyage to the Galactic Rim. But on the way, I'm stopping by some other points of interest. And I dropped into this system and noticed that there's a high metal content planet here. At least I think this is going to turn out to be a high metal. Might just be a rocky body or something, but it's got about 1 Earth masses, and nobody's ever discovered it before. So I thought, you know, I wanted to do a video for my first impressions on Horizons, where I did my landing, because obviously, I mean, you're going to include a landing. And this is a planet that nobody else has ever discovered before. So why don't I go down and land on this previously never before seen by human eyes world and talk a little bit about Horizons while I do. So this is really super early hyper first impressions for me. I've only been playing the game, the Horizons, for a couple hours. I wasn't in the beta, and I just started playing it this morning. This will be my third planet that I've landed on, just to give you some idea. So there's a lot of stuff that I can't really comment on. For example, the way the added gameplay on planet surfaces will affect stuff in the long term. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't spent enough time on planets. The thing hasn't been out that long. I can't answer that, man. But wow, this thing is really beat up. Lots of asteroids. I'm gonna go to that really big impact crater, though. That looks like a cool place to visit. But yeah, I can talk about, you know, just my first sort of thoughts on it, and I mean, wow, like, that's my very first sort of initial reaction was just wow, because the scale of what FDev have done is, I mean, it's amazing. For those of you who don't know, I mean, you probably know if you play ED, but for those of you who don't know, the sort of big new feature in the latest patch is the ability to go down and land on any airless body with no volcanism, which turns out to be about 60% of the planets in the galaxy. ED, of course, you can go to any solar system in the entire galaxy in ET. That was one of those big selling things. And wow, the ground down there is really beat up. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you can go to any solar system in the galaxy, any of the roughly 400 billion, I think, and about 60% of the planets in those 400 billion star systems you're now going to be able to land on, which is just absurd. I mean, that's the only other game that I can think of that I think has done something similar in terms of scale, although I think that's even greater, is there's shit, I can't remember what it's called. There's this thing where you can, like, fly around, like, the universe and look at procedurally generated planets and stuff, but it doesn't really have any gameplay as such. It's purely just a sort of looking around kind of dealy. I can't remember what it's actually called. Whereas ED, of course, is this big multiplayer sandbox thing with shotting guns and trading and stuff. So, I mean, I don't think anything on this scale has ever been done in sort of a real actual game before. And I don't know, it's just crazy impressive to me. So that was my sort of immediate visceral reaction when I started sort of coming down and landing places. Long-term implications for the game, I can't really say, but just, damn. I think what I'm going to try and do is set down on one of these sort of higher, more ridgy parts of this, the interior of this crater, which is just all beat up, and then see if we can't, you know, drive our SRV down into there. Maybe I should land on the bottom and try and work my way up. That might be a bit safer than trying to drive down giant cliffs. Let's just keep flying around for a bit, though, getting a bit closer and take a look at this stuff. I want to be careful, because, yeah, so this is a high metal content. I want to be careful, because I'm maybe 500 light years away from the bubble or something. I don't want to die out here. I don't have a whole lot of valuable exploration data just yet, because this journey is only just beginning, but it would be a real bummer to kill myself. What am I saying? It's really crazy, just the scale of the planets and stuff like that. You don't... That was, I think, something actually, despite how enormous the game's world technically was before, in terms of all the huge places, like the huge number of places and stuff, it was hard to get a sense of a scale of things to a certain extent, because you could never get to anything, like, you couldn't get close enough to any of the planets to even be on, like, a relatable frame of reference at any point to, like, even have your brain be able to comprehend the enormity. And, like, now, I mean, look at, I mean, inside, this is on the inside of a huge impact crater already, and it's got these giant cliffs and canyons. Like, this must be so tall. I have no idea how high that is, but that's huge. Alright, let's get in down here and try and find somewhere to land. It looks like we got a bunch of, like, dust or some kind of vapor. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure what exactly this is that's giving this a cloudy look. If it's, like, dust that's floating, suspended around the surface of the planet, or if it's meant to be, like, vapor, like if there was a sort of trace atmosphere kind of thing, and then deep in these canyons you do have some sort of vapor sitting here, even though the planet doesn't have an atmosphere. Maybe that's it. It's not really clear to me. Wow, I can go even deeper. I've yet to find an actual, like, point of interest on a planet's surface. I think because I pretty much immediately went outside the bubble and started exploring. And they're going to be pretty rare when you're outside of occupied space, for obvious reasons. Maybe we'll find something today, though. Or, well, now, while I'm recording. This music's great. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. Hopefully the audio levels are okay. Alright, I think we'll be able to land down in here somewhere. About 400 meters up still, so... It looks closer than it is. It's kind of... Well, it's actually not that. It's like, it's hard for me to gauge how far it actually is. Okay, now we're getting down there. Okay, this somewhere down here should be a nice and easy place to land. Like, this all looks good. Alright. Okay, let's put her down. Wow. Ship, you gonna actually, Okay. Let's try again. Apparently it doesn't quite like that spot. The atmosphere is just incredible coming down. I haven't come down on a planet with this kind of dust hovering or vapor or whatever before. The last one I landed on was this ice world where it was so bright on the surface that I couldn't see anything. I actually made a video using that, but I decided not to use it because... There we go. Because the planet's surface was so bright. This one's much nicer. Alright. So let's go and get in our buggy. 87% fuel. That's one of the things, there's no way really... Well, I mean, there is a way. The only way to refuel your SRV when you're this far outside the bubble is you have to find materials on the surface of planets you can use to refuel it. So that's definitely going to be, anytime you go out roving, I think that's definitely going to be a priority, trying to find that stuff, just to make sure that your journey is not cut short, or at least your ability to land isn't cut short by running out of fuel. And that's what the scanner in the middle there above my radar is for. It tells me like where I'm gonna find minerals that I can use. Here we are on the surface. There's my asp, the Jack Daniels. I've christened her. I don't remember if I mentioned that before. I guess him, because it's got a dude's name, but ships are supposed to be lady. Nah, fuck it. It's a lady named Jack Daniels. You can be a lady named Jack Daniels. I think like my DBX was called the Wild Turkey because it was orange and kind of looked like a turkey. And this one I gave it, you know, the black paint job, so it has a black label. And I thought, you know, yeah, I guess we'll call this the Jack Daniels. I guess I like to name all my exploration ships off of after liquor. Not sure why, but I just like it. Anyway, let's go see if we can find some materials, or maybe if we are super lucky. I think it might be easier to find POIs from my ship, but apparently it's extremely, extremely unlikely that I will find anything like crash ships or anything like that out here. But I think there are other kinds of POIs that you can still discover way out in the black. I'm not seeing much sign of any minerals nearby. It's kind of hard to tell. The scanner is, like, it looks to me like if I head in this direction, maybe I'll find some stuff. Be careful not to drive too fast, because that's the other thing. There's also no way to repair your SRV except for by finding materials when you're way outside the bubble. I think that's, I don't know, some people were kind of complaining about those things. I think it's kind of an interesting gameplay aspect to add to exploration, which previously had very little that could possibly go wrong unless you were like asleep or drunk as hell at the wheel, which I suppose it's possible that considering how sedate exploration was previously, people were either passing out or blackout drunk. This is just absolutely marvelous. Yes, good sir. Marvelous, marvelous. I don't know why, when I feel the visceral emotions, I start talking like an old-timey person sometimes. In CS, for example, like, somebody gets a really bullshit headshot. Now, if I'm only slightly mad, I'll be like, well, that was a load of shit. But if I'm really mad, I'll say, like, I don't know, that was a ludicrous series of events, or something along those lines. I actually become... I think that's gotta be the opposite of most people, right? That I become more verbose the stronger my emotion. How far am I from my ship? Should I just send that thing away? I mean, I don't think anything bad's gonna happen to it way out here, but it's gonna fly away by itself if I get to 2 kilometers, I think. And I'd like to watch it leaving. I think that'd be a cool thing to see. Let's reverse a little bit. There she goes. My Jack Daniels blasting off into the sky. And it's really a lonely feeling when you see your ship fly away and you're just left with the sound of like the scanner ticking along and maybe the gravel under your tires. So I think I was seeing some kind of stronger signal somewhere. Yeah, like this looks good. Oh yeah, it gives you a little sound as well. There's definitely something in this direction. Hopefully it'll be something I can use to refuel my SRV or repair it. Or obviously also exploring, you can make an FSD boost that lets you jump a lot further, which is obviously going to be pretty useful as well. Outcrop, eh? Oh, that's quite a bit of stuff. What do we got here? Material. Okay, I guess I have to actually scoop them up before. Oh, there we go. Once I deploy my scoop, it tells me what they are. I see. That's interesting. Well, I'm just gonna pick up everything because obviously it's a little bit finicky doing this. A little bit fiddly, but not too bad. It's just annoying because you have to target each thing before you can pick it up, which makes it kind of finicky to actually gather all this stuff. Okay, I discovered a new material. Sulfur. Apparently nobody'd ever discovered sulfur before. You know, that... I mean, yeah, it's just nobody... We don't have that back home on Earth. So I think now I actually will have all the materials that I need. Oh, it shows me there. So I could ammo restock or I could refuel. How much fuel do I get? Like, does it... I'm assuming it fully refuels it. It might not fully refuel it, but I'm gonna work on the assumption that it will and not use it right now because my fuel tank's still pretty full. We don't want to be wasting this stuff. I think I'm gonna drive around a little bit more, just check out one more sort of signal thingy, and then maybe call in my ship and get out of here. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely not like a sort of full review of Horizons or anything yet at this point. I just wanted to sort of get a video, guys, out there to share with you, because I don't know, I was feeling really, really enthusiastic about this, and I still am, and I just wanted to share that enthusiasm with YouTube, which used to be what motivated a lot of my videos, but these days, games are all garbage, and I no longer feel enthusiastic about anything. I made a video about that a couple years ago. Actually, one of my more popular videos these days, but it's not true that games are garbage, of course, but I think as I've gotten older is a big part of it. You know, I just have a little bit less of that childlike sense of enthusiasm and excitement and wonder for stuff in video games, but this expansion pack has really rekindled that in me. I had a hard time sleeping last night because this came out at about 5 a.m. my time, but I was super hungover and tired yesterday, so I ended up sleeping rather than staying up all night, which is good because it means today I have lots and lots of energy to be able to play this all day and not, you know, pass out in the middle of the afternoon from not sleeping. We're getting near something here. Bronze chondrite. It seems kind of weird that you just use your gun to break this stuff apart in the SRV, rather than having like a separate mining laser. I don't think it's a big problem, it just strikes me as somewhat odd. I don't know what half this stuff is for, because I'm only just sort of scratching the surface of the crafting system. I'm really looking forward to the stuff coming later in Horizons, where there's going to be like an actual sort of loot system and crafting system. I talked about in my most recent ED video, I sort of said, I do think the game is able to be recommended to a certain audience at the moment, but it is still lacking in a lot of respects, and I think Horizons, here after release, unfortunately, is a really big step towards this game being what it needs to be a really, really engaging experience, because just landing on these places and checking them out is really, really super exciting to me. Anyway, let's call back our ship. Get out of here. I don't think we're going to be discovering any wrecks of more unfortunate explorers or anything like that on this planet. Ah, there it is. Looks like it's landing. The last time I coded my ship, it landed like 1.5 kilometers away. I guess there was nowhere good near I was to land. The ship's computer is really, really good at finding a suitable landing spot. Like, it's hard to do a lot of times when you're actually piloting. The ship's computer never seems to have any trouble just picking one out. They should add like a docking computer, but for planet landings. Although I'd probably still do it manually just for the fun of it. You get a really different sense of scale of how big the ships actually are in the SRV is the other thing about this. It's really cool. like, you never sort of really at least I didn't ever really feel like my ships were that big before, but, you know, you see the Asp from the outside, and the Asp is not that big of a ship in the grand scheme of things, but this is, like, the front of the ship where those cockpits are. There's definitely 2 stories, and then the ship goes up in the back. So it's like a 3-story ship, and this isn't even one of the bigger ships in the game, you know? I mean, that's fucking pretty badass. Okay, well, let's actually get under there and get going. Continue our journey. I'm gonna be on this trip for quite a while, probably. I've decided to go quite a long way. If I encounter anything else super cool, well, I mean, this wasn't anything super cool. I just wanted to do a little impressions video. If I find anything super cool out there, I will probably go ahead and make more videos for you guys. If there's interest in that, are you guys? If you're watching this video, leave a comment below if you'd be interested in, like, a video journal of my explorations through ED, just when I find interesting stuff, not like every system I go into, obviously, because holy shit, that'd be insane. Come on. There we go. Now I'm in the right place. Go up into our universal cargo door. And here we are, back aboard my trusty ship, the Jack Daniels. And our journey continues. Yeah, wow, the size of those mountains is just enormous. Let's go to space. Guess we didn't exactly leave space, considering, you know, there's no atmosphere on this planet.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so I think that when I'm up in orbital cruise, I think when I'm up here, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I have to be flying lower. No, I guess I must have to be flying lower over the planet. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the best way is to find those POIs yet. A lot of this stuff is really poorly explained in-game, which is kind of unfortunate, but, I mean, you can still figure it out. You know, I can deal with it. It's okay. Well, I think that's going to be the end of this video, guys. I'm going to fly around the planet and be on my way. Thanks for watching, as always. As I said, let me know if you want to see me doing sort of more just random ED content of cool stuff that happens or anything like that. I figured people would find it kind of boring, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'll just put a few little videos out like this one, where I just kind of explore and talk about what I'm seeing, and see if people seem to be enjoying them. Anyway, thanks for watching, as always, and until next time, Commander Trouble T-Cat, on board the Jack Daniels, signing out. But not